And with that, we begin today's session, which is entitled Minimizing Alarm Fatigue. We're fortunate to have with us today Liam Darling, who is a Senior Healthcare Consultant for Spoke, and Lee, who is the SpectraLink Major Account Manager for Austria and New Zealand. And at this point, we can get started, and I'd like to turn it over to Liam to do so.
Thanks, Kelsey. As Kelsey said there, my name is Liam Darling, and I am the Senior Healthcare Consultant for Spoke for New South Wales and New Zealand. What we're going to talk about today are just a few examples of clinical workflows that we see on a daily basis. We look at how they're functioning today and then contrast them against how Spoke can improve certain communications and avoid certain communications breakdowns. I really like to kind of start with this one because it gives a good overview of who Spoke are. Essentially, Spoke provide mission-critical communications to some of the largest healthcare facilities in the world. What are is a company with 650 something employees, 100 million reviews, and office locations all over the world. But just what we are. We are and kind of who we're striving to be. We outlined on this slide, and it's about our philosophy and our approach to challenges. As a company, we try to focus on workflows, clinical and operational, try to create efficiencies within those workflows, the aim of improving overall patient outcome. Just happens we've used some very clever technology to that, but ultimately the aim is improved outcomes for patients. Slide, you'll see examples of how Spoke made a tangible difference and outcomes. The first one was a California Children's Hospital, pediatric hospital, where we implemented a number of solutions around contact management, call center, automated code calls, etc. And basically what we saw, apart from less call abandonment rates, shorter hold time, and all those important operational issues, what we saw was a reduction in pediatric mortality rate by 21%, which is equivalent to 24 children in that year. So that's a huge win for any company. There is a very large Chicago health system where they improved the response time by a factor of 12 in response to code browns. And due to those in charge being able to contact groups of people, get responses from those groups of people, and hopefully escalating when necessary. So really what we do is we look at situation and make a difference and say, okay, have we made a difference? And if we've made a difference, then we're doing our job right. So what we're talk about today, though, is clinical alerting and alarm fatigue. So as a casual observer, if you go into any ward or hospital today, you'll hear random beeps from patient monitoring systems. You'll see overdoors from nurse call systems. Your security alarms going off from people making unauthorized exits. And it is a world of big data that gives any type of empirical reading or can provide a tangible measurement or even just beeps sort of potentially important information. And it's vital that this information is processed as may be key to the overall efficiencies and effectiveness of the hospital. So in this one, even just down the bottom right there, you'll see critical test results. So test results, and in fact even non-critical test results, delivered efficiently can significantly impact issues such as admission procedures. Do we need to admit this person urgently or do we not? Bed management. Do we need a bed for this person or can we put it back in the pool of beds for other patients? And those impact key performance indicators such as the four, and they have a significant impact on reducing overall impact of adverse events. Well, one of the problems is any big data and analyzing or reporting, even though they're vital, it can go wrong. We try to push too much information to staff. I think we're aware that it's vital that the right people get the right message. The difficulty is that the right message is often very in piles and piles of irrelevant messages. Healthcare professionals are obviously very prone to one of the biggest phenomena in hospitals, and that's alarm fatigue, which is essentially caused by data overload. They don't have the capacity to deal with all the information that comes in, and without some type of filtering, it's impossible to keep up with. On screen are three of the most common forms of filtering that you see. The stream, you can add popping something in the drawer there and ignoring it, but these things do happen because it's kind of pointless trying to filter the alarms yourself. Two examples in the last couple of months. I was in a hospital recently where the duress alarms on the wall were actually at the same level as the light switches in the bathroom. So as everybody walked in, put their hand on the wall, alarm go off. You get a crowd scenario, even though security came every time, you can imagine the effects it has on morale, and it does take priority over other alarms. Second hospital I was in was an open plan pediatric ward. Doc was showing us around, and not only did she not know what the beep meant, she wasn't even sure where it was coming from. In that situation, what happened at the best, sometimes the appropriate person responded to the beep. Most of the time, somebody responded, but they were either overqualified, which was there for a waste of resource, or qualified enough to get another member of staff. More walking, less time in the bedside, and it's not a great result for anybody. And technology. Let's look at a particular example. Area you have multiple disparate inputs coming in. We have a patient monitoring solution, and you have a nurse call. So a machine or the monitoring reaches a certain threshold, gives off a beep. If the button is pressed, it's a light. Without clinical alerting, all you have is an unidentified beep and some visual cue in the form of a light outside a bedroom door. That's pretty much all you have. With clinical alerting, if we take those inputs, so that's beep from that and that button press, that nurse call, a set of clinical rules, a set of business rules, them design their workflow in the hospital, obviously, and that light wave or that light over a door now changes. We now have a request for a glass of water sent to a nurse aide. That monitor that beep no longer just an innocuous beep, but it is a blood pressure threshold that is breached, and this is now highlighted to the physician and their preferred devices. That's what it does. It brings a lot of intelligence into it. The clinical alerting software, which we use, is branded as Spoke Messenger. It takes these disparate inputs, processes them according to the rules, and pushes them out to the appropriate end user. And appropriate is important there. Anyway, we've already introduced a level of intelligent filtering that allows the person with the relevant skills to deal with that issue. So, nurse aid for water, nurse for pain relief request, that type of thing. And that means a lot less walking and a lot less checking in with individuals to see what the request is. If the individual or the nurse is not available, well, that's where relations are vital. So, for instance, if we have a leads off event, message is sent to nurse A, she can't respond, because they're busy or whatever it is, then within a defined period of time, message is related to an alternative provider of care. That can happen continuously. The key element of the solution is the caregiver assignment. So this can be down to bed level. This means only messages triggered from that specific location, from that specific patient, are received by the caregiver, again, on their preferred device. So filtering out all that avalanche of irrelevant information. Full audit trail is obviously very important, not only from the medical legal point of view, but it can highlight inefficiencies in places where improvements can be made. All at a hospital, whether there's a lot of brownfield sites out there, there's a lot of old legacy systems. The messenger solution interfaces with all of those. So everything from nurse calls, patient monitors, building management systems, anything in low level output like a tap or ASCII all the way through to HL7. The messenger solution fits in there nicely. What all that means. So what that all means for the open plan pediatric unit, what's in it for her? Well, it means that she knows where the beef is coming from, because it can give information, and she knows what it means. Straight away, you can do much more with less time. She knows the messages relevant to her are being sent to her, and then prioritized appropriately based on their urgency. So it's significant in some of these vitals of a particular patient, for instance, is a priority than a request for a consult from a colleague. It means less walking room to room. It means these patients as people more than just numbers, and it ultimately affects the patient and staff satisfaction and better outcomes for everybody. So, I mean, a few times now about, the right message to the right people at the right time, which is where the messages come from. Touched how they can be processed. The part of the puzzle is, how healthcare staff receive those messages. All the clever processing of clinical rules significantly diluted unless the end user has an appropriate device to take this. One of these devices is the SpectraLink Wi-Fi range of the Wi-Fi and DEC phones. Messenger software fully integrates with these units to leverage their full capabilities. For example, a message from a specification with a particular priority can be displayed using a unique kind of tone combination and allows staff to react quickly to that. There's a lot of things we can do. Messenger is fully integrated with the elements of it, so duress, running notifications, tilt, all those wonderful things. But I'm going to hand over to Tony now, as he's much more au fait with these type of solutions.
Thanks, Liam. Just make sure I've got all of the slide deck here. Terrific. Excellent. My name is Tony Lee, and I'm the SpectraLink Major Account Manager for Australia and New Zealand. Today, I'd like to provide you with an overview of what is a critical component that helps solve alarm fatigue issues with nurses and clinical staff, and that's the mobile wireless handset technology that we're one for and a market leader in. But first, I would like to just quickly, for some of you, provide a brief background on who SpectraLink is. We're an established and proven global leader in building wireless handset technology. Do offer the strongest enterprise-grade wireless handset technology in the world, both with the older DEC technology, but importantly, and also with the newer Wi-Fi technology. Our history and pedigree is absolutely in voice and mobile wireless telephony technologies, and indeed we were and continue to be pioneers in the voice over wireless LAN technology. Indeed, we are a 100% wireless design and development technology company. The company itself, SpectraLink, was founded in 1990 with our first product shipped in 1992, and that was our Wi-Fi compliant handset. We have over 300 employees worldwide, and we operate in over 50 countries. Our Wi-Fi series handsets are the next step, indeed the next step in mobile information devices that combine the functionality of a web browser, a pager, a radio, barcode scanning, and mobile phone technology, all in one simple, easy-to-use device. Our Wi-Fi handset technologies are portable, they're lightweight, they're simple to use, they're ergonomic devices, so easy to carry. Importantly, in the, harsh environments that we often find around the healthcare and hospital sector, they're tough and rugged. They're resistant to liquid, dust, bacteria, and dropping the phone itself, and they're ideal for many operational, maintenance, security, and mobile staff in many sectors, but importantly and especially so in the healthcare and hospital sector. Messaging, presence, calendar integration, and real-time location services are also supported on compatible platforms. we are recognised as the established, strong and proven brand with over 20 years of wireless handset design and development, both in DECT and Wi-Fi. We ourselves as a disruptive wireless and innovative company in the marketplace. We have successfully demonstrated agility and our ability to deliver disruptive and innovative technology to the market. We're able to leverage over 100 years of voice communications experience, and that comes from our acquisition about 10 years ago of a company called Kirk that have got a long and strong background in voice communications technologies, particularly in Europe. Importantly, 24 years of Wi-Fi and voice over wireless LAN experience. And we brought this together to really deliver first-to-market innovations such as the first Wi-Fi handset, voice over wireless LAN technology. We're the first and only wireless Wi-Fi, mobile Wi-Fi handset technology that has native link integration, both for Link 2010 and Link 2013, which is Microsoft's unified collaboration technology platform. We were the first organisation to deliver a fully configurable duress and man-down capability, both in our DECT and our Wi-Fi technology. And recently, we were the first, or are the first to market with what we call a work smart device, our pivot device, and I'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. Of course, we have our own secret sauce, as they say, and we call this the SpectraLink Voice Quality Optimization, or VQC. So maybe like other companies, we have our own secret sauce, and over many years we've been able to engineer a system that delivers superior voice quality over in-building enterprise Wi-Fi networks. This system is built around technology that's on the inside of our each and every one of our SpectraLink handset devices, but also leverages the knowledge and expertise of our partners, people like Oak, and importantly people like the various Wi-Fi vendors out there, so that we bring together both sides of that equation to deliver a very high quality voice communications and indeed information communications system. During the time, or our time in the marketplace, we've recognised that while our component is indeed a very important component of delivering messaging, task information, workflow, productivity, etc., we have built up a ecosystem of partners. So our technologies are based, and this is an important differentiator for us, our technologies are based on an open and standards-based architecture that's allowed us to develop a rich and broad spectrum of ecosystem partners, and certainly Spoke are one of those very important partners to us. All these partners are certified through a variety of different programs that we have, and are going to work and integrate with the SpectraLink technologies, both the DECT and the Wi-Fi technologies. What you see in that graphic there is in the top two quadrants, the Botional and the more recent unified collaboration partners that we deal with. So importantly, in the healthcare space, we are certified and integrate with Cisco technologies, NEC technologies. Importantly, integrate with the Microsoft Link technology, and indeed are the only Wi-Fi handset that does that. But the part of the equation, we're also certified because it's a common denominator, so we need to be able to function well within the Wi-Fi infrastructure. So we have a number of Wi-Fi or wireless LAN partners there, again Cisco being a very important one, Maru indeed an important one, and others. And then of course, given that we are the device that receives and processes the messaging and task information, we work very closely with the applications development side, and indeed with our friends at Spoke. We have a really well-rounded solution there. We also work in with RTLS vendors such as Ekahau, where we have native integration, and AeroScout, and there are certainly others, not just in the healthcare space, but also in other market sectors where we work with. It's an important see this as an important and compelling part of our value proposition. The fact that we are open and standards-based architecture simply means that you're not locking yourself necessarily into any one system or solution. We work with many. So, what do we see out there in the clinical hospital context? So, we see from our experience and from independent studies that the key concerns of nursing directors, senior nursing leaders, and clinicians pretty much fall into these key categories, and Liam has also alluded to this during his presentation. So clearly patient safety is very important. So ineffective communications literally can put patients at risk. Again, ineffective communications, lack of response or slow to respond to nurse call requests, etc., creates patient or low patient satisfaction ratings. You certainly know that communication is challenging within a hospital context, and if you ever sit and observe in an ED or a busy nursing context, hospital context, communication can be very challenging, and a lot of that can be through the very building design and architecture of ED environments, etc. We know that nursing staff and clinicians are certainly under pressure, and nursing leaders are under pressure to increase productivity and efficiency. And very importantly, and we're seeing this played out in the press more recently, certainly here in Victoria, is the increasing occurrence of assaults, code greys and code blacks in hospitals, and certainly some recent press in Victoria in the last month actually highlighted a significant increase in a number of cases, 100% and 200% increases in threats and risks to nurse safety, and the increasing code greys and code blacks. So all these things not addressed obviously lead and can lead to sentinel and adverse events within a hospital setting. So, the whole communication and effective and timely communication is critical. So, a reasonably recent survey of nurse leaders highlighted the top 3 priorities. No surprises here that the patient experience and patient satisfaction is important. The quality of clinical care and the safety of both patients and nursing and clinical staff is very important. Indeed is the ongoing seeking to improve processes and productivity improvements. So we know that nursing staff genuinely care about patient care, and that's their calling and as a vocation in life. And I think anything that detracts from that in terms of poor communications, lack of communications, slow communications, all plays up in how well you can deliver patient care. Again, from the same survey, we know that improving communications is critical and key. It's not the only thing, but it is a critical component that plays directly into and impacts the patient's experience, the quality of care, and process improvement and the productivity of nursing and clinical staff. We know from our experience that nursing staff tell us that 20 to 40% of their day is simply looking for colleagues and looking for medical items and such like. So an ability to deliver timely, fast and directed messages and task information to the different levels of nursing staff and clinical folks is important. We know that fast and timely response plays directly into ability to mitigate adverse and sentinel events and in duress situations. So by improving communications, we deliver better patient experience, we enhance the clinical quality and safety, and we also improve process and productivity improvements. So what's the solution? We believe that the right solution is around purpose-built devices that are designed for these types of environments. From our extensive experience that a purpose-built wireless handset device delivers a more reliable, robust and effective workplace or work device. And we know it works and we know what doesn't work. We do know that many nurses and clinicians are using smartphone technologies, so it might be iPhones, it might be some Android phone, etc. And they're using these to try and solve what they perceive to be their needs in the workplace. and we see that they're seeking solutions and undertaking under their own initiative to use these devices, but we don't see these as being the right device. In fact, indeed, we see them being the wrong device. A repurposed consumer device is certainly not a match for a purpose-built device, and some of the issues that we find around, if you like, repurposed consumer devices like smartphones is issues around gene durability and ruggedness, privacy and security concerns, particularly where patient information might be making its way to these devices, the call quality, phone quality, and indeed the total cost of ownership, because we believe that there is a false economy around these devices, and certainly that's something that we could and won't in this particular session, but could go into more detail. So we think that the right solution, purpose-built devices coupled with custom apps and health apps such as the Spoke app is the right way to go forward. Being a change, and the change is about how to mobilise desk phones and the desktop and be able to take the features of a desk phone and a desk set and a desktop device and make it available in a portable device. So this is the big challenge, and hence the reason that we're seeing nurses and clinicians taking repurposed consumer devices into the workplace, because they see that it solves a need that they have. We're seeing many nurses using smartphone devices as not only as their personal phones, but bringing these into the workplace environment. And we're seeing this phenomenon is certainly resetting the bar and providing challenges to nurses, to the executive, and to the IT environments of hospitals in terms of how they manage this. And this plays into the whole effect of the BYOD device phenomenon. What has SpectraLink done about this? We've developed a device called a WorkSmart device, and we define a WorkSmart device as being a mobile phone with the look and features and usability of a smartphone device combined with the quality, durability, reliability essential for work. So SpectraLink is resetting the bar here through the our Pivot WorkSmart device, which I'm now going to talk a little about. Like a smartphone, it can access the web, text and email, but like a work phone, it's all the access, security, etc. is controlled through the IT administration. Like a smartphone, you can make calls with it, but like a work phone, it has all of that secret source and voice technology that and call processing technology that is normally associated with a smartphone. Like a smartphone, it has a full keyboard, but it's a device that's been carefully designed to work in a clinical context. So clinicians and nurses wearing latex gloves, etc., being able to push buttons and things. So we have a fair bit of time with this design, but very quickly have brought this device to the market. So the device that I'm talking about here is Pivot, our WorkSmart device. It's the SpectraLink 87 series product, and you'll see a picture of it there. So it has instantly that familiar look and feel of a smartphone device, but it has that rugged and robust and reliable design to be able to work in a really what is a tough and harsh environment in a hospital setting. So being recognised as a pioneer in building Wi-Fi handset technology, we're the first manufacturer to combine the round handset durability and voice quality from something that we're known for with smartphone-like usability and a solution that indeed really works. Pivot device was announced early this year, and it's been shipping since July, and we actually have deployments, and we have our first case study with the Pivot device. So we've been to market with a proven WorkSmart device that's purpose-built for healthcare. We have a case study available. It is based on an open architecture. It's indeed an Android device that has XML API interfaces, so it can be integrated into many third-party applications. And at the moment, we do have a demonstration trial offer, and indeed, if you'd like to know more about that, then please your details known to the facilitator, and we will make contact with you to talk about that. So I see the right solution being a purpose-built device, and SpectraLink solutions improve communications, which is a critical component of a hospital environment, getting timely, essential communications, and this is something that Ben was talking about with Spoke Messenger. So improve the communications at the point of care. It's also recognising too that nurses and clinicians are really mobile information workers. So it's not just about the voice component, but it's also about providing the relevant, timely information and content onto a mobile device that's easy to use, that has a familiar look and feel, and provides all of the voice and web browsing and texting and email capability in one device. So a device that's data directly wherever you are, that provides and receives the monitor alerts, test results, medication status, infant protection, reduced response times, improved patient satisfaction, minimum stress and the number of footsteps needed to undertake an activity, prioritise needs and manage alarms, maintain an activity log and archives. So together, Spoke, we're able to deliver a comprehensive and importantly certified solution to clinical alerting, escalation and management that has proven to work in your healthcare environments. The result simply being that we're able, in conjunction with Spoke, be able to reduce alarm fatigue. I'd like to hand back to Liam to talk about the case study. Liam?
Great. And as mentioned, a lot of issues there that we face on a daily basis. Particularly interesting is the significant increase in attack on healthcare staff and a solution around resolving that. One of our more recent joint projects that we worked on was a large Victorian hospital. The hospital itself had, as is always the case, multiple and different inputs. I think we were all on nurse call. There was a fire alarm system, security system. There was HL7 coming in for hospital information. But importantly, there was a SpectraLink integration. SpectraLink integration did make full use of not full power of the SpectraLink handset, but the full of the SpectraLink handset. We have 50 duress phones deployed in the emergency department and other high-risk areas, while the other 500, whatever, 90% are deployed around the facility for general messaging. Pronunciation of code alerts is obviously a huge aid to people walking around, so it is no longer just a beep. It is an enunciated message. And what we've seen, and we're still measuring, is an improvement in response time on a lot of alerts. Just very quickly, prior to the type of solution you looked at was, a typical patient request from a nurse call system. Patient presses the button. This is a nurse station. Depending on the configuration of the hospital and how busy it is on that particular day, somebody there, they may not be there. So there's your first delay in the system, a potential breakdown in the system. If you assume that someone's there, then the next step is to track down a nurse. So typically that's done with a pager, which is a one-way system. That means you've no idea when they're available. So now, in addition to the delay or potential delay, you've also got potential uncertainty. Before you get a nurse, they go to the patient's room. They may discover that something else is required or someone else is required. So you have a nurse attending when not required, which is a hell of a lot of steps to get there, and waiting for care. So it's not a good outcome for both parties. But the issue of the critical messaging, and with the spec handset, you have a linear solution. So patient presses the no button, and it's always sent to the SpectraLink device, the location and the alert type. And on the handset straight away, as soon as that button is pressed, then can make a decision on what to do. So the AI integrates with the hospital directory, and she can easily look up, what needs to be done. Therefore, is it reduces the uncertainty because of the device, and also remove that delay in the process. You're happier, patients happier, better outcome for everybody. any questions, we'd be delighted to take them now, or if we're running out of time, then we can answer them offline.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Tony. So it looks like a few questions have come in. So for those of you that are able to stick around, we'll try to get through a few of those. And if you do have a question that you haven't submitted yet, please enter it in the Q&A box, and we will take a look at it. First question is for you, Tony, is how tightly do SpectraLink devices integrate with Spoke's messaging platform?
Good question. As you will have seen from that example of a large Victorian hospital here, the SpectraLink DECT and Wi-Fi devices have a very tight integration with the Spoke Messenger platform, and that was the example of that was just what Liam was speaking about regarding the large hospital. We integrate at a quite deep and rich level. It includes features such as message acknowledgement, so accept, reject, the ability to escalate, color-coded alert profiles, with a range of audio alerts and integration with the SpectraLink and under the SpectraLink Safe program, which is when SpectraLink Safe speaks to a full suite of duress alarms, including duress buttons, so a button push, or motion detection, be it tilt, be it still, be it running, and with the DECT technology, even a ripcord capability. So, there's a very, very tight integration with the Spoke technology, and I think that speaks volumes about the open architecture that we have and the ability to do that.
Thank you. Our next question is for you, Liam. You gave the example of the nurse call integration. What other types of systems can Spoke integrate with besides nurse call?
That's a difficult question to answer, Gal, because you need a hell of a lot of time. There is a huge amount of systems. Anything that buzzes the message, receives message, we can do it. So there's manual inputs from people, and there's automatic inputs from me. So you make a nurse call, from the likes of nurse call, we're integrated with Roland and Simplex for now, and those guys. You have detection systems, you have security systems, you have electronic medical records, which is obviously a big one. All the big guys in that. Our patient monitoring systems like Philips and Draeger, GE, a huge range of things from level basic alert input all through to those high level patient-centric.
It looks like we have just one more question here, and it's for you, Tony. You mentioned a dedicated device like the Pivot has advantages over a smartphone. How does the voice quality compare? Are you there, Tony?
Just like technical issue, I was trying to find the mute button. I'm sorry. Can you just repeat the question, please, Kel?
Yep, absolutely. You mentioned a dedicated device like the Pivot had advantages over a smartphone. How does the voice quality compare?
So what we've done is we've taken our course, if you like, the QO technology that we've developed over many, many years and refined over many years. Taken that, we've taken obviously that rugged design and blend that with an Android-based smartphone kind of technology. So indeed, the voice quality is quite exceptional. In fact, people would refer to it, and we refer to it as kind of high definition voice. Importantly, though, in you can imagine busy, noisy hospital environments like EDs, one of the critical things is it's great to have a voice call, but if you can't hear what the person's saying, what's of it? So with part of our special force is our ability to filter background noise so that the voice quality is the best it can be and is optimized for noisy environments, and particularly noisy environments like ED and in other sectors like manufacturing environments, etc. So we've put a lot of engineering into that, and and it's the same voice experience. You can expect the same voice experience and the same quality voice experience with the Pivot as you have or would expect with our other mobile handset devices, the Wi-Fi, the 84 series, like the A40, 8440s, 41s, 8450s, and even with the DEC technology. So we've taken the same principles, the same engineering, same voice quality, and applied that to Pivot. So it's a very, very good quality voice experience.
It's great, thank you. Actually concludes today's presentation. Tony, thank you again for sharing with us today. If you do have any additional questions or would like some more information, please don't hesitate to contact either Liam or Tony. Their email addresses are listed here on the screen. I just want to thank you all again for joining us. We hope you found this webinar informative. Okay.